a translation of the Kojiki, or Records of Ancient Matters. Translated by Brazil Hall Chamberlain. Edited by Charles Francis Horn. Part 1. The Birth of the Deities. The beginning of heaven and earth. The names of the deities that were born in the plain of high heaven when the heaven and earth began were the deity master of the august center of heaven. Next, the high august producing wondrous deity. Next, the divine producing wondrous deity. These three deities were all deities born alone and hid their persons. The names of the deities that were born next from a thing that sprouted up like unto a reed shoot when the earth, young and like unto floating oil, drifted about Medusa-like, were the pleasant reed shoot elder prince deity. Next, the heavenly, eternally standing deity. These two deities were likewise born alone and hid their persons. The 5 deities in the above list are separate heavenly deities. The 7 divine generations. The names of the deities that were born next were the earthly, eternally standing deity. Next, the luxuriant, integrating master deity. These 2 deities were likewise deities born alone and hid their persons. The names of the deities that were born next were the deity Mud Earth Lord. Next, his younger sister, the deity Mud Earth Lady. Next, the germ integrating deity. Next, his younger sister, the life integrating deity. Next, the deity of Elter of the Great Place. Next, his younger sister, the deity Elder Lady of the Great Place. Next, the deity Perfect Exterior. Next, his younger sister, the deity O Awful Lady. Next, the deity Izanagi, or the male who invites. Next, his younger sister, Izanami, or the deity the female who invites. From the earthly, eternally standing deity down to the deity the female who invites, in the previous list, are what are termed the 7 divine generations. The island of Onogoro. Hereupon all the heavenly deities commanded the 2 deities, his augustness, the male who invites, and her augustness, the female who invites, ordering them to make, consolidate, and give birth to this drifting land. Granting to them a heavenly jeweled spear, they thus deigned to charge them. So the 2 deities, standing upon the floating bridge of heaven, pushed down the jeweled spear and stirred with it, whereupon, when they had stirred the brine till it went curdle, curdle, and drew the spear up, the brine that dripped down from the end of the spear was piled up and became an island. This is the island of Onogoro. Courtship of the deities, the male who invites and the female who invites. Having descended from heaven onto this island, they saw to the erection of a heavenly august pillar. They saw to the erection of a hall of 8 fathoms. Then Izanagi, the male who invites, said to Izanami, the female who invites, "We should create children." And he said, "Let us go around the heavenly august pillar, and when we meet on the other side, let us be united. Do you go around from the left, and I will go from the right." When they met, her augustness, the female who invites, spake first, exclaiming, "Ah, what a fair and lovable youth!" Then his augustness said, "Ah, what a fair and lovable maiden!" But afterward he said, "It was not that the woman should speak first. The child which was born to them was Hiroko, the leech child, which when 3 years old was still unable to stand upright. So they placed the leech child in a boat of reeds and let it float away. Next they gave birth to the island of Aha. This likewise is not reckoned among their children. Hereupon the 2 deities took counsel, saying, "The children to whom we have now given birth are not good. It will be best to announce this in the august place of the heavenly deities." They ascended forthwith to heaven, and inquired of their augustnesses, the heavenly deities, Then the heavenly deities commanded and found out by great divination and ordered them, saying, They were not good, because the woman spoke first, to send back again and amend your words. So thereupon, descending back, they again went round the heavenly august pillar. Thereupon his augustness, the male who invites, spoke first. Ah, what a fair and lovely maiden! Afterward, his younger sister, her augustness, the female who invites, spoke, Ah, what a fair and lovely youth! Next they gave birth to the island of Futana in Ino. This island has one body and 4 faces, and each face has a name. So the land of Io is called Lovely Princess. The land of Sanuki is called Princess Good Boiled Rice. The land of Aha is called the Princess of Great Food. The land of Tosa is called Brave Good Youth. Next they gave birth to the islands of Mitsugo near Oki, another name for which islands in heavenly great heart youth. This island likewise has one body and 4 faces, and each face has a name. So the land of Tsukishi is called White Sun Youth. The land of Tokyo is called Luxuriant Sun Youth. The land of He is called Brave Sun Confronting Luxuriant Wondrous Lord Youth. The land of Kumaso is called Brave Sun Youth. Next they gave birth to the island of Iki, another name for which is Heavenly's one pillar. Next they gave birth to the island of Tsu, another name for which is Heavenly Hand Net Good Princess. Next they gave birth to the island of Sado. Next they gave birth to great Yamato, the luxuriant island of the dragonfly, another name for which is Heavenly August Sky Luxuriant Dragonfly Lord Youth. The name of land of the 8 great islands therefore originated in these 8 islands having been born first. After that, when they had returned, they gave birth to the island of Kushima in Kibi, another name for which island is Brave Sun Direction Youth. Next they gave birth to the island of Adzuki, another name for which is Oho Nune Hime. Next they gave birth to the island of Ohoshima, another name for which is Oho Tamaru Wake. Next they gave birth to the island of Hime, another name for which is Heaven's one root. Next they gave birth to the island of Chika, another name for which is Heavenly Great Male. Next they gave birth to the islands of Futago, another name for which is Heaven's 2 houses. 6 islands in all from the island of Ko in Kibi to the island of Heaven's 2 houses. 6 islands in all from the island of Ko in Kibi to the island of Heaven's 2 houses. Birth of the various deities. When they had finished giving birth to countries, they began afresh giving birth to deities. So the name of the deity they gave birth to was the deity Great Male of the Great Thane. Next they gave birth to the deity Rock Earth Prince. Next they gave birth to the deity Rock Nest Princess. Next they gave birth to the deity Great Door Sun Youth. Next they gave birth to the deity Heavenly Blowing Male. Next they gave birth to the deity Great House Prince. Next they gave birth to the deity Youth of the Wind Breath, the Great Male. They gave birth to the sea deity, whose name is the deity Great Ocean Possessor. Next, they gave birth to the deity of the water gates, whose name is the deity Prince of the Swift Autumn. Next they gave birth to the younger sister, the deity Princess of Swift Autumn. 10 deities in all, from the deity Great Male of the Great Thane to the deity Princess of Autumn. The names of the deities given birth to by these 2 deities, Prince of Swift Autumn and Princess of Swift Autumn, from their separate dominions of river and sea were the deity Foam Calm, next the deity Foam Waves, next the deity Bubble Calm, next the deity Bubble Waves, next the deity Heavenly Water Divider, next the deity Earthly Water Divider, next the deity Heavenly Water Drawing Gourd Possessor, next the deity Earthly Water Drawing Gourd Possessor. 8 deities in all, from the deity Foam Prince to the deity Earthly Water Drawing Gourd Possessor. Next they gave birth to the deity of Wind, whose name is the deity Prince of Lawn Wind. Next they gave birth to the deity of trees, whose name is deity Stem Elder. Next they gave birth to the deity of mountains, whose name is the deity Great Mountain Possessor. Next they gave birth to the deity of moors, whose name is the deity Thatch Moor Princess, another name for whom is the deity Moor Elder. 4 deities in all, from the deity Prince of Lawn Wind to Moor Elder. The names of the deities given birth to by these 2 deities, the deity Great Mountain Possessor and the deity Moor Elder, from their separate dominions of mountain and moor were the deity Heavenly Elder of the Passes, next the deity Earthly Elder of the Passes, next the deity Heavenly Pass Boundary, next the deity Earthly Pass Boundary, next the deity Heavenly Dark Door, next the deity Earthly Dark Door, next the deity Great Veil Prince, next the deity Great Veil Princess. 8 deities in all, from the deity Earthly Elder of the Passes to the deity Great Veil Princess. The name of the deity they gave birth to was the deity Bird's Rock Campor Tree Boat, another name for which is the Heavenly Bird Boat. Next they gave birth to the deity Princess of Great Food. Next they gave birth to the fire-burning swift male deity, another name for whom is the deity Red Shining Prince, and another name is the deity Fire Shining Elder. Retirement of Her Augustness, the princess who invites. Through giving birth to this child, her august private parts were burned, and she sickened and lay down. The names of the deities born from her vomit were the deity Metal Mountain Prince, and next the deity Metal Mountain Princess. The names of the deities that were born from her feces were the deity Clay Viscid Prince, and next the deity Clay Viscid Princess. The names of the deities that were next born from her urine were the deity Mitsubanome, and next the young wondrous producing deity. The child of this deity was called the deity Luxuriant Food Princess. So the deity, the female who invites, through giving birth to the deity of fire, at length divinely retired. 8 deities in all, from the Heavenly Bird Boat to the deity Luxuriant Food Princess. The total number of islands given birth to jointly by the 2 deities, the male who invites and the female who invites, was 14, and of deities 35. These are such as were given birth to before the deity, the princess who invites, divinely retired. Only the island of Onogoro was not given birth to, and moreover, the least child and the island of Aha are not reckoned among the children. So then his augustness, the male who invites, said, O thine augustness, my lovely younger sister, O that I should have exchanged thee for this single child. And as she crept round her august pillow, and as she crept round her august feet and wept, there was born from his august tears the deity that dwells as Konomoto, near Uniwo, on Mount Kagu, and whose name is the crying, weeping female deity. So he burned the divinely retired deity and female who invites on Mount Hiba, at the boundary of the land of Izumo and the land of Hahaki. The slaying of the fire deity. Then his augustness, the male who invites, drawing the 10 grass saber that was augustly girded on him, cut off the head of his child, the deity Shining Elder. Hereupon the names of the deities that were born from the blood that stuck to the point of the august sword and bespattered the multitudinous rock masses were the deity Rock Splitter, next the deity Rock Splitter, next the rock-possessing male deity. The names of the deities that were next born from the blood that stuck to the upper part of the august sword and again bespattered the multitudinous rock masses were the awfully swift deity, next the fire swift deity, next the brave, awful, possessing male deity, another name for which is the brave, snapping deity, and another name is the luxuriant, snapping deity. The names of the deities that were next born from the blood that collected on the hilt of the august sword linked out between his fingers were the deity Kuragaokami, and next the deity Kuramitsuba, All the 8 deities in the above list, from the deity Rock Splitter to the deity Kuramitsuha, are deities that were born from the Aga sword. The name of the deity that was born from the bead of the deity Shining Elder, who had been slain, was the deity possessor of the true Past Mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his chest was the deity possessor of Descent Mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his belly was the deity possessor of the Innermost Mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his private parts was the deity possessor of the Dark Mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his left hand was the deity possessor of the densely wooded mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his right hand was the deity possessor of the outlying mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his left foot was the deity possessor of the moorland mountains. The name of the deity that was next born from his right foot was the deity possessor of the outer mountains. 8 deities in all, from the deity possessor of the true Past Mountains to the deity possessor of the outer mountains. So the name of the sword with which the male who invites cut off his son's head was Heavenly Point Blade Extended, and another name was Majestic Point Blade Extended.